Have you ever tried to hit a baseball that feels like it's being thrown from a different area code? That is the riddle the Toronto Blue Jays are trying to force opposing hitters to solve in 2026. We spend so much time obsessing over 100-mile-per-hour fastballs and superstar signings that we often miss the subtle architectural moves that actually win ball games in the late innings. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we are dissecting a move that flew under the radar, literally and figuratively, just hours before the Blue Jays made headlines by signing the submarine-style reliever Tyler Rogers. They quietly pulled the trigger on a trade for another arm that defies the laws of physics, Chase Lee. This isn't just a depth move. It is a declaration of war on the batter's eye level. Let's be honest. When the news broke, most of you were probably Googling who is Chase Lee, and that is fair. He was acquired from the Detroit Tigers, a team that had snagged him from the Texas Rangers system. But don't let the lack of name recognition fool you. This acquisition is part of a very specific, very calculated strategy by the Blue Jays front office. They aren't just collecting pitchers, they are collecting angles. Lee is a sidearmer, a guy who scrapes his knuckles on the grass to deliver the ball, in a league where everyone is trying to throw harder. The Jays are zigging while everyone else zags, betting on funk and deception over raw power. The timing of this trade was fascinating. It happened in the shadow of the Tyler Rogers signing, making Lee feel like the opening act to the main event. But in reality, Lee represents a crucial piece of the puzzle, the optionable depth piece with a high ceiling. He is a 27-year-old right-hander out of the University of Alabama who has clawed his way up through the minors by being weird, uncomfortable, and effective. He isn't here to be the closer. He is here to be the chaos agent, the guy you bring in to mess up a hitter's timing before the big guns come out. And as we dive into his profile, you will see exactly why the Jays targeted him. To understand what we have in Chase Lee, we have to look at the strange duality of his recent performance. His journey is a classic tale of minor league dominance meeting major league reality. In 2024, he was electric in AAA, posting a sparkling 2.75 ERA and forcing the Tigers to add him to their 40-man roster just to protect him from the Rule 5 draft. That is the pedigree of a guy who figures it out. But 2025, that was a different beast. It was a season of split personality, dividing his time between the Toledo Mud Hens and the big league club in Detroit. Let's look at the numbers, because they tell a story of bad luck and growing pains. In AAA last year, his ERA ballooned to a scary 6.47. On paper, that looks like a disaster. But if you dig deeper into the advanced metrics, his FIPE, fielding independent pitching, was a much more respectable 3.78. What does that tell us? It tells us he was victimized by poor defense and some bad bounces. He was still striking out batters at a 28.1% clip, which is elite. When he got the call to Detroit, he was used primarily in low-leverage situations, mop-up duty. Essentially, he posted a 4.10 ERA over 37 innings, but the cracks showed when the pressure mounted. In medium-leverage spots, he struggled, giving up 5 earned runs in just 11 innings. This is the classic profile of what scouts call a quad-A player, too good for the minors, but not quite established in the majors. He relies on a four-seam fastball and a two-seamer that sit just under 90 miles per hour. In today's game, that is considered slow. But velocity isn't his weapon, movement is. He pairs that heater with a rising sweeper and a fading changeup that disappears away from lefties. The concern? When he misses his spot, he gets hit hard. He doesn't have the velocity to blow a mistake past a hitter. He has to be perfect with his command, or the ball ends up in the seats. That is the tightrope he walks every time he steps on the mound. Now let's get into the expansion protocol and analyze the genius behind this roster construction. Why did the Blue Jays want Chase Lee and Tyler Rogers? It's all about geometry. We are witnessing the creation of a Frankenstein bullpen designed to break a hitter's neck, metaphorically speaking. Imagine you are a batter. You just faced Trey Yesavage, a starter who throws from a high, over-the-top arm slot of roughly 64 degrees. Your eyes are trained to look up. Then the manager brings in Chase Lee, who drops down to a -4-degree release angle. Suddenly, the ball is coming from your waist, and just when you adjust to that, they bring in Tyler Rogers, who scrapes the dirt at -61 degrees. This sequence is a nightmare. It forces the hitter to constantly recalibrate their eye level, which ruins their timing and swing mechanics. It is psychological warfare. But there is a key difference between Lee and Rogers that makes them complementary, not redundant. Rogers is a ground ball machine. He wants you to hit it into the dirt. Chase Lee, despite the low arm slot, is actually a strikeout pitcher. His unique rising sweeper generates whiffs. This gives the manager options. Need a double play? Call Rogers. Need a strikeout with a runner on third? Call Lee. Furthermore, we have to discuss the roster flexibility. This is the unsexy part of baseball that wins championships. Chase Lee has 2 minor league option years remaining. This is gold for a general manager. It means the Blue Jays can shuttle him back and forth between Toronto and Buffalo without exposing him to waivers. He provides a safety net. If the bullpen is exhausted after an extra innings game, you can call up Lee for fresh arm. If he struggles, you can send him down to work on his mechanics without losing him. Tyler Rogers is a lock for the roster. Chase Lee is the ultimate insurance policy. He is the depth that prevents the bullpen from collapsing in August. So, what can we realistically expect from Chase Lee in 2026? The projection systems are cautiously optimistic. Steamer projects a 3.92 ERA with a solid strikeout rate of 22.5%. Zips is even more bullish, predicting a 3.88 ERA over 60 innings if he sticks in the majors. These aren't Cy Young numbers, but for a guy who is likely the 7th or 8th option in the bullpen, they are incredibly valuable. He is projected to be a league-average reliever with upside, and in the modern game, you can never have enough of those. The verdict on this trade is simple. It is a low-risk, high-reward move that deepens the organization's pitching infrastructure. Chase Lee might not sell jerseys, but he might save a game in June that helps the team clinch a playoff spot in September. He represents the new philosophy of the Blue Jays: versatility, deception, and depth. He is a puzzle piece that fits perfectly into the chaotic picture they are painting. Now, I want to turn the microphone over to you. I want to know what you think about this funky bullpen strategy. Do you like the idea of having multiple pitchers with weird arm angles? Or do you prefer the traditional flamethrowers who throw 100 miles per hour? Do you trust Chase Lee to handle high-leverage innings if injuries strike? Or do you see him strictly as a shuttle squad guy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's debate the merits of velocity versus deception. And as always, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 40-man roster, smash that like button and subscribe. We are breaking down every single player, one by one, until opening day. Stay sharp, everyone.